of progress for the team as much as anything else, and all the hard work that's gone in during the year. We knew probably after the National League that we probably should have finished a little bit higher, and that we felt that we could do a good run in the Ulster Championship, and as it turned out, we're going okay so far.
Now, you came into the job with a plan, with a long-term plan. Has it surpassed where it should be at this stage, or is it about right?
Well, not really. I know it's a long-term plan as in the development of the players, because as we've often said that people do not develop now currently as athletes till 27, 28, and the average age of our team is 22, so 23. So from that point of view, we're looking at the physical profile of our players. Mentally, they're very, very strong, as they've showed in the last couple of games, and they've been very resilient when the pressure has come on them. From that point of view, the plan is going okay so far.
And 2 championship wins obviously brings its own confidence.
Well, it does, and I suppose it's the manner of the wins. Some people might cast a shadow of doubt on the quality of the games, but we dug out our results, and when teams come level or maybe got close to us, that we kicked back and won the games, and that's the part that we look at.
And why do you think Cavan teams are like that now? Because in the past, if teams drew level or came close to drawing level, it was inevitable that the opposition would progress and probably win the game. But it was very evident last week Cavan wanted that game.
Well, perhaps it's a belief factor. I suppose, and belief comes from winning, and the younger members of the squad would have had that in abundance. And in fairness to the Alan Clarks and the older fellas who have come in, they've fed off that, and they've admitted themselves. The young people drive them on, and it's all back down to belief, because our ability is there, and we've no doubt about that.
Now, it may be overemphasised a little bit, but all of this has to be coming on the back of under 21 success, 4 Ulster finals, 3 successes, and 1 minor thrown in there as well.
Well, that was true, and I suppose it was a conscious decision taken a number of years ago to do that, and we've probably been lucky that we've got through and got the Ulster titles and that, and we need to build on that again and bring it on to senior. It's going to be more difficult to do it at senior because you're up against a different type of opposition, and the window was wider at senior when you're playing from probably 19-year up to 29, 31, 32-year-olds, whereas it's only a 3-year gap maybe from minor 21. But hopefully we can successfully do that.
And really, it's only a 3-year gap between the under 21s that you're bringing in and, as you would call them, the older players in the panel.
Well, that is true, and when we counted under 21, a lot of them are only 19s, and like you take Jason McLaughlin's only missing out on 21 by about a week or 10 days from next year. So from that point of view, we're still a very young squad, but they're learning, they're working hard. We're in a semi-final, and let's see where it goes from here.
Now, you would have taken plaudits in success with both Armagh and Enniskillen, but there would be aspects of the game, both of them I'm sure, that you weren't particularly happy with, and that's what you're working on for the semi-final, I'm sure.
Well, of course, if we go back to the Fermanagh game, I suppose it was a first half display where we worked very hard and our defence worked very well. We had a lot of wasteful shots and probably not the right shot options, and that goes back then to thought process, and the thought process when you have the ball in your hand, and that's what we will be working on for the next 2 weeks.
This inbuilt belief that appears to be in these players, is that coming on the back of success, or is it coming from maybe the county starved of success?
Well, no, in fairness, they are good footballers, you know what I mean, and sometimes you have to be told often enough that you're good to realise that you're good, and that has been told to these groups for the last 3 to 4 years, and they are good footballers, and it's probably in their genes. People would say to me sometimes that you must do an awful lot of work on tackling, a lot of different drills, and we do a lot of that, and Peter Donnelly would work very hard at that, but in the end of the day, if it's not in your psyche to work hard, it will not come out of you.
There's a great understanding between the players as well, and even players that are introduced, so they know what their game plan is.
Well, that's true, and I suppose they have been used to playing with each other, and we do as much ball work as possible, and despite maybe some of the pundits in our team might think, we do a lot of football and we do a lot of foot drills and kicking and a lot of shooting. When you're under pressure in a game, it doesn't always translate that way, but there is a lot of work being done with the football.
Despite what happened in the league, Monaghan will produce, no doubt, a very tough challenge for you on Sunday.
Well, they will, of course, and in fairness, Monaghan have been featured in lots of finals in the last 4 to 5 years, so they're in the pole position from that point of view. They're a much more mature side that have competed at a higher level than we have. We hope there'll be another close game like for Monaghan, we come out on the right side.
There'll be huge intensity, there's huge rivalry, so that makes it a little bit better and a little bit more interesting.
Well, it does, but I suppose a lot of that tension and rivalry is on the terraces more so than on the pitch. We have to go out and we have to be focused and we have to be disciplined on the pitch. So from that point of view, it's about us going out and playing football.
Looking at the panel that you have at the moment and the way that they're playing, the future for Cavan football, regardless of what happens this season, has to be very bright.
Well, it is, but as long as we in Cavan keep doing what we've done for the last 3 to 4 years, and then we don't suddenly say, oh yeah, this is the group that's going to take us forward, because it's very, very important that we continue with our underage structures and continue producing good footballers, which we seem to have been doing. Our minors on the semi-final, which means that the underage development squads and go back to the clubs are doing everything right. And it's very important that we take them through from that development squad to onto the senior level and they're looked after and coached well in that age group.
And I suppose this is the first year really that people on the terraces and the supporters are beginning to see that the team building process appears to be working.
Well, that's it to see, and it's come back to, I suppose, you need to introduce groups of 2s and 3s and 4s rather than 1s and 1s, because the other minute it goes back to what you said in the beginning. They know how to play with each other, they know what each other runs, and they understand what they're going to do before they deliver the ball in.
Well, Terry, we wish you well.
Thank you.